Hello, it's Julie at Love's Beginning, and I think I feel called on to kind of expose my process here. The title of what I'm doing today is called The Constriction of Choice, and when I look at the title, I don't really remember anything. So my process is that in the shower, I'll receive several statements, and that's going to be like the framework or the skeleton for what I'm going to talk about. And then I'll look at the title or the first statement and I won't remember anything. And that takes trust because I only have a faint glimmer of what I'm going to be talking about, but I do have like these pearls on a strand of the statements I get, and then I will go back to them as I talk and they will guide me. So I guess that's just a metaphor of the trust in the guidance. So the first statement I got was, you fear guidance about the specific. This is true. Otherwise, all of my life would be effortless all the time. And if it's not, it's because I fear guidance about the specific, because you value choice among the myriad. Then I was told to look at the etymology, the source of the word myriad and the meaning. So originally it meant 10,000 units of 10,000. So, exact, defined. And then that meaning morphed into boundless, countless, like we think we have myriad choices. So ego substitutes the idea of boundless choice for the infinite. So ego tells us you have myriad choices in this world. You can have up, down, back, forth, left, right, green, blue, yellow, and all these different combinations. You have endless choices, and you should always be deciding what you want and what you don't want. You should always be choosing what you want and what you don't want. But then my attention is drawn back to, I think I have a lot of choices here. I fear guidance about the specific because I'm valuing instead my ability to analyze and judge all of these specific things and decide what I want to move toward and what I want to move away from. So this is like a dislodging of the framework that I seem to be experiencing here. I've been relying on this rotten framework that's never worked and that always results in war. If you only think you know this lifetime, or if you think you know a bunch of different lifetimes, it doesn't matter. Every lifetime you've ever been in, there's always been war somewhere in the world. That should clue us in. we're always we're always choosing war. And ego thinks that ego sends us thoughts about how these myriad choices, all these different options we seem to have here, that's the infinite, that's the boundless, that's the thing that never ends. But actually, the real infinite, the real boundless, is just what we are. It's just love, and that's what never ends. So my framework's being dislodged. I'm learning to devalue all the choices of the ego that the ego would offer me like as my only choices. It's either this or that, and there is nothing there. When the whole time the light is just shining underneath it, through it, everywhere. The light's always here. And that's the one choice. That's the true boundless. That's the true infinite. Okay, so then I get the myriad is a splintered reflection in a broken mirror. And even the word myriad, like mirror, similarities there. So if I look at that mirror and the splintered reflection, and I look at the world I'm in, and if it's a broken mirror, why would I be looking into it to give me any indication of meaning and value? Why would I be looking to the world? Well, if I think that's the only thing there is, of course I'm going to look to it for meaning and value. But we know that's not the only thing there is. We know it's underneath the world. We know it's always been here. We know it's real. And so I'm just getting that nudge. It always feels like a nudge from a dog nose or something, that nudge to look to what's real, to determine what's next. What's next, to take the place of all the choice making you think you do in the world. Look toward what's real what's real, to decide everything. That invitation is always there. If I'm looking at a broken mirror and trying to make sense of it, it's not going to be very helpful for me. Okay, so then after that, you fear you will feel constricted if you follow specific guidance. And that's true. Don't tell me what to do. Well, who is this me? It's a me that wants to have its way. And I was just talking with a friend who's helping me go deeper into this too. And it was the same issue coming up. Like, I am not the thing that thinks it wants. What thinks it wants? That's not you. That's not me. These are just thoughts we experience. I am not the thing that thinks it wants. So letting those fearful thoughts go, that there is constriction. The only way there is constriction is an attachment to the specifics of this world and all the limits that imposes on my experience and on my perception. So that's what I can let go of. So finding that willingness to hear and follow the specific guidance. That's where I am right now. The urge to attempt to arrange things is self-protective, like small s self, separate self-protective. So we can feel where we're trying to protect the separate self. Anytime I don't feel good in any way, anytime I feel the least bit of tension, I am trying to protect in some way this definition of separate self. And the call to let defenses go is just so strong. It's so strong. And so I become aware of those defenses just in conversation with people. The example today was given to me, like, think of somebody, anybody, and think immediately if you get defensive in any way by just the thought of that person. Is there anything subtle or overt now there? Now, put that person on your doorstep. They're about to walk into your house as it is, as you are right now. Now, what defenses do you feel? So that can be a fun game to see what defenses you feel, to notice that throughout the day, to know that feeling of defensiveness is always attached to thinking, and to find the willingness to let those thoughts go. How do we find the willingness to let those thoughts go? Because we find out that we're happier when we do, just through the practice, and that gives us the motivation. And as I was speaking just now, the word vaccine came to mind. I can't think possibly what I would have to say about it. I think I'm shy about talking about it, so I have to work through that. The urge to attempt to arrange things is self-protective. Okay, that's what I'm being led towards seeing. If I'm going to try to arrange my life or somebody else's life such that I get the vaccine or they get the vaccine, that's self-protective. If I try to arrange my life or somebody else's life in the sense that they don't get the vaccine, or I don't get the vaccine, that's self-protective. So both sides of any issue, both sides of any coin, that's always self-protective. If I'm picking one or the other that has its origins, its birthplace in this world, there isn't one that's like soft and light and peace and the other that's like total crap. And so somebody's right if they choose this side, wrong if they choose this side. I'm always being self-protective if I'm trying to land on one side or the other. And to let this whole framework go seems like a big ask, but do I want to be right about things in the world, or do I want to be happy? More and more, I'm seeing that I want to be happy. So the vaccine issue is just an example, but that applies to everything. And it's interesting to look at food, for example. Like, how does one even decide about food? I don't even know. I have no idea, and I'm willing to be led. So that's all I can say about that. Okay, I think this is the last thing. We give to you the experience of being sure that someone is wrong. Oh, that's why I had to bring up the vaccines, because that gives an easy example if you have an opinion. We give to you the experience of being sure that someone is wrong. Okay, what do they want me to see here? If I feel sure that someone, oh, I was sure that someone was wrong this week. I heard about in New York State where I live, the governor saying that vaccinated people did not have to wear masks, but unvaccinated people should. And I'm not vaccinated. And I really believed for a little while. I was driving in the van, and I even said this to my daughter, like verbally, that's not fair. I felt like a baby. Wah, I really did. And I was expressing like a baby. And so just to feel that there was something, the Course in Miracles talks about the desire. I probably have the wording wrong. The desire to be unfairly treated, like we want to be treated unfairly. There's a good example of that. Why am I experiencing this? Well, on some level, you wanted it. So why was I experiencing that? On some level, I wanted it. So in that situation, I was sure that anybody who wanted me to wear a mask because I feel tired of masks was wrong. And so that whole framework of thinking a person can be right, thinking a person can be wrong, thinking that I can know is a separate one. I can know somebody's right, somebody's wrong. That's the whole framework that's collapsing. And when it collapses, the only thing I can do is look to what everybody really is. What is everybody really? Beneath the concept of the costume, of the personality, beneath the costume of the body, beneath the costume of my memory of their actions. If you look at the past of what you call another, like the governor, it's just a memory of their actions. That's your perception, right? We think we know who is right and who is wrong. The whole framework is collapsing. So when that's gone, all you can do is look at who everybody really is. That's all you have left. You are helpless like a baby. That's all you have left. And who they really are is, thank goodness, it's simple and not difficult to remember. It's their love, their light. They're the one of us. And the ego would say, this is crazy. You have nothing to reason with. You have nothing to make decisions, nothing to help you with your decisions. That's correct. You don't, except specific guidance, which will always come when I am willing. So I'm learning how to stay in that setting of willingness and to how to allow that guidance to come. And I do feel like a baby, but I always just do the best I can with it and feel a lot of gratitude for what is drifting away, melting away, and for all the help that's available to everyone. So from one baby to another, have a nice week. And I have no idea when I'll be on video again, but I will see you when I see you.